Hello, my name is Joe, and welcome to another edition of Joe's Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where I'm playing Planetbase, the outer space building economy simulation, where we land on various different planets and try to build viable colonies. And I'm realizing my colony doesn't have enough metal. So, let's put up another mine. Now, this doesn't look like it'd be a great place to put a mine. But even though it looks like it's basically embedded here inside this hillside, the colonists should still have no trouble getting in and out of there. It's Planetbase magic. And so we'll have them go ahead and set that up. That way we have two mines, each feeding each processing plant and keeping them running. Because the biggest holdup for all of our construction projects is ore. Ore to be processed into metal. And I absolutely hate to see my metal processors idle. So, let's give them something to do. Now see, here we've only got the one running. And all these others are empty. We need more ore. Now we're trying to expand out here and set up a new landing area. So this will be all landing pads and starports. This will be, basically the main entrance for the colony. And we need to arm our guard force. I've been meaning to do this for a little while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And so far we've been lucky. We have not faced an attack yet by visitors, but I'm sure that attack is coming soon. So, trying to do our best. Our only defense is to lock the doors and let the intruders asphyxiate on the surface, because at the moment our guard force is completely unarmed. So we have 5 guards, but they have no weapons. In fact, we haven't even yet built the factory. Or, well, I guess we have built a factory. What am I thinking? Well, we haven't built the semiconductors that will be used to produce the weapons as yet. There we go. We have semiconductor foundries, but they need metal in order to begin operation. And currently all the metal is tied up with all this ambitious construction. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, these are colonists. Just want to make sure it's not an attack coming in. Now, as we've been adding structures... Oh boy, come on wind, please blow. We are generating power, but we're not generating excess power in significant enough quantities, or at least not for my taste. I mean, we're charging, albeit slowly. So to offset all of the new construction, we're probably going to need to add additional power. But first, I would like to get additional mining operational so that we can get more metal faster. Yeah, notice the colonists happily just climb over any obstruction. They don't care. Okay, so we're going into the night with mostly charged power collectors. Wow, that looks like a freelance general ship. And it is. So the general trader has brought us all kinds of goodies. Ooh, I would really like a Goliath turbine. Oh, 60% commission. I don't know that we could afford it, but let's try. Nope, I'm not going to be able to afford this today. I could probably... Well, wait a minute. Oh, but he doesn't have the cargo hold. My stuff is just not valuable enough. So, no, I can't afford what he's trying to sell us. Oh, and I want to. That's the problem. I really want to. Well, I'm going to have to say no. I want that Goliath turbine. So, the Goliath turbine is a larger version of the wind turbines we have already. Each of these turbines can put out a maximum of 50 kilowatts, but the Goliath turbine can put out 80, which is the same amount of power in terms of total capacity that the solar panels have. Of course, the wind has to be blowing in order for those turbines to generate that power, but at least it gives them that. And during things like sandstorms, which this planet seems to have in spades, it offers a great way to generate power. Plus, they use the same amount of spare parts that their smaller counterparts do. So by having a Goliath turbine versus these large ones, you are generating more power for the same amount of spare parts used to maintain it. Yeah, better bang for the buck. So, we'll get you next time. In the meantime, as you can see, the mine is online and there's a miner already in there working away. So it doesn't look like it would be a hospitable place. In fact, I can't even see the entrance. This little piece sticking up, that's where they're coming out of. But, you know, Planetbase magic, they come in and out with no problems, and they're happy as can be to work there. So we'll be able to get more ore in and out. What I'd really like to put up is a robotics bay so that we can, and get a patent for a drill bot so that we can get more efficient work. Humans are great, but you know, they fall down and hurt themselves constantly. Very, very accident prone. Okay, and with the mine up, let's go ahead and prioritize adding additional power, because I'm concerned about all these extra structures coming in and adding more stuff to us. Okay, not an attack. In fact, bad news for this poor fellow. We'll probably go ahead and shut this bar down here in a bit. Come on, you're already just about happy because he's in a bar. So it's last call for alcohol in order to save power until we can expand our power generation services. I just don't want someone else grabbing. There we go. So we'll go ahead and shut the bar down temporarily. It's intended for visitors anyways, so there. We can also shut down oxygen generation in this section. This whole section doesn't need to be powered up until we get this other stuff completed. But for now, good. Alright, so we're working on expanding the power generation. Now that the wind is picking up, it's helping with power, but I just want to make sure. If I outpace our power generation, it can be deadly for the colony. So it's worth it to make sure that we can generate more power than we need rather than not enough. Okay, our status is still good. We want people to want to join our colony. One nice side benefit is that by having all these airlocks over here, this potentially opens up this area here also for power generation. So of course, it'll be mostly landing pads and starports, but some of the excess land over here can also be additional power. We need airlocks as close as possible to the power generation facilities so that personnel can come on the surface and take spare parts, and they're not having to transit too far, burning up, you know, too much oxygen out of their tanks. Okay, it will take a little while for these generators to get online. As you can see, we still have 5 pending here and 4 metal pending over here. But we do have 4 mines producing ore and 8 total metal processors working on it, so hopefully soon. Now, although we have this little satellite bar here intended for visitors, once we have this complex extended out in this direction, my plans are to add a bar for the colony proper, so that to keep our colonists' morale high. Okay, I'm just waiting to see, are they friendly? Yes, new colonists. Hostile attackers, at least in Planetbase, are a tad obvious. For one thing, they don't show up as any of the various different, groups, so they all show up as visitors. But they can potentially step off colony ships or visitor ships. So, especially if you see visitors coming off of a colony ship, boy, you're in for a bad time if you don't lock the door or have plenty of weapons on hand to deal with them. And even if you do have weapons on hand, sometimes all the guards go off and take a break or something, and there'll be one lone guy who'll run at like 3 or 4 bad guys and get himself killed, which is particularly bad since I'm sitting here trying to recruit a lot of people in a short amount of time. I don't need them feeding kills to the enemy. This is also why I'm having these satellite facilities, including a canteen and a cabin, so that whatever it is that these guards need, maybe a little light entertainment, a little morale boost, maybe they're tired, they should be able to get it right here without running out into the colony proper. I would like to be able to put up some kind of a block that says guards are not allowed past this point, but we don't have that type of mechanic in Planetbase. There are other games that I've played from other companies, Sierra Entertainment for example, that made this one really great little building simulation, city simulator called Pharaoh, and they would allow you could have a big road, and the road was for immigrants to come into your city, but you could put a road block that stopped any of your city employees from leaving the city proper. It's kind of a nice feature. Okay, so construction. Oh, look at this. We have the airlock up. Ah, excellent. And it's pressurized. So next will be the landing pad. As soon as that goes up, which will be after this power generation is done, we can recycle this landing pad over here and bring the security center online. Good. I didn't realize that they had come along quite so quickly. Excellent. Trading ship. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is a pharmacom ship. So they've got medical supplies. I don't know that we actually need any. If you're wondering, you can tell by the markings of the starships what it is that they do. Although, maybe I could just sell some medical supplies to this ship. Oh, but he can't afford my stuff. 40%, let's see. Yeah, well, I'm going to take some supplies back then. 179. Alright, so 8. So I have to be willing to take a little bit of a loss here. But what I gain is all of the coins. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll trade. So that the next time some big ship comes down and says, hey, how would you like a Goliath turbine? You know, and I don't have enough materials to trade them, I can make up for it with coins, hopefully. That's the whole purpose of our medical supplies here, is that you'll notice that our sick bay looks a little unusual. Let's see, where is it? So the sick bay is filled with medical cabinets. And the purpose of this is basically, this is more of a warehouse that just happens to treat patients. Just incident. It's like getting a flu shot at Walgreens. Because this lab is here just to produce these medical supplies so that we can potentially use them as currency when trading with trading chips, because their value exceeds their weight by quite a bit. In fact, I'm thinking maybe we're not producing medical supplies fast enough. So, one of the things I have queued is a lab. Once this lab goes online, this will be our primary source of making tissues, so meat products, basically culture from cells. So we'll recycle this one and add another workstation so that we can produce yet more medical supplies faster. Because these come in handy as currency, basically. Okay, the trading ship is paid and off the pad. And it leaves us behind medicinal plants and some currency that we'll be able to use with the next trading ship, hopefully. Oh, good. The other solar panel is up. You know what, one more thing that we probably need. Or, oh, that's right. I think I queued it already. Another power collector. It seems like we have plenty of power, but as soon as I power all of these up, it probably won't seem so plentiful anymore. Plus, starports use up quite a bit of power in their own right, so that's why I'm thinking about how to expand power storage. Because the last thing I want is to run out. Oops, I saw you light up. Come on. I know you want to take it. There you go. Excellent. The nice thing is that these power collectors don't cost very much in terms of materials, so basically 4 metal units and they'll be up and running. So one more for the turbine here, and then a, what is it, 8, 9, 10, well, plus, you know, because it's 4 plus connections, and there's 2 of them, so. Oh, because I did that, it's not going to finish the turbine first? That's alright, I suppose. I'm not worried. Okay, what's our welfare considered? We're still considered good. These other constructions don't require very much metal at all, so as soon as the power infrastructure has caught up and we're safe to go ahead and activate all of these and move the landing pad, we should be fine. They'll get put up in very quick succession. You know what, let's do something I haven't done in a while. Dun, 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 dun. Well, of course, it might be hard to see. Yeah, there's no camera in here. Can you do it when it's been powered off? You can. I wanted to look up at the sky and see how things looked. But I didn't want the lights on in here in order to obscure my view. Of course, the sun's coming up, so... So much for looking at the stars. Let's see what we have. Oh no. Is this the attack? Please tell me this is not the attack. Okay. Whew. I was getting worried for a second there. I thought, oh no, I go stargazing and now we're under attack. Certainly. That would be how it would work. I'm seeing traumatic injuries come in. We must have had a mining accident. transport bot out here is not doing very well, so let's get an engineer to help him. On the plus side, we do seem to have plenty of food, so nobody's starving here at Omega Base. Not yet. Then watch. Suddenly I have an influx of colonists and we run out of food. Yeah. Or putting up a bar will consume vast quantities of stuff there. Although, before morale becomes a problem, I could put up a multi-dome. That won't consume the vegetables, and Ray can run around and have fun in there. I guess I'll have to think about that. But we'll get all these other constructions done first before opting for that. It's good to see that collector charging very fast. That's what we want to see. And it's probably due to this extra solar panel that was brought online, which will help even more once we have another wind turbine up. So when the sun isn't shining, we're jittering that much more power. Well, provided the wind blows, has to be cooperative. Of course, again, it helps to turn off structures not being used at the time. We can't operate the factory because we don't have any metal, because it's all going to various different construction projects, so I probably should have powered it off sooner. Although these oxygen generators are powered down at the moment, they're still receiving air that's being pumped through the colony. It's just not being consumed. Oh, here we go. That is an industrial ship. Oh, tell me. Oh, the Goliath turbine once again, here to tempt us. Can I afford it? The good thing is that the industrial ship here has a little bit of capacity. Again, this is where these medical supplies help. So there's 175. He only wants 40%. See how far we can get with what we have. Oh, it's not going to be enough. Of course, this is very important. So let's put it to the wall. 425. Perfect. 560. It fills up his cargo holds. It burns up all of our stuff here. In fact, here, let's see if I can... 15. I might be able to pull one of these back. So, let's see. Yes. So that I don't have to trade all the spare parts away, but I did have to trade one at least. There we go. Well, actually, let's see. Maybe we can get the other one back. Ah, there we go. Alright, so with bioplastics alone, alright, so I don't have to trade away the spare parts, after all. So his cargo hold is 1 from being completely full. There go all the medical supplies again. But when we're done, we'll have a Goliath wind turbine. You know what? We are going to cancel this construction. Because we're going to see about recycling all the wind turbines we already have. And in fact, let's bring the factory back up. I forgot. even though we don't have enough to get the foundries running and the arms workshop running, one thing you'll notice about the factory is that they will continue producing spare parts because those are critical to the colony. So even though there are all kinds of constructions queued, watch, and the factory will still manage to take metal to make spare parts from time to time. Now, the foundries for semiconductors and weapons don't have the same priority as the spares workshops do. But it makes sense. I mean, without the spare parts, you know, potentially your colony can die. Okay, so it looks like this trading ship brought us exactly what we need. Okay, good. That power collector is ready for assembly. Oh, now the fun part. Let's cross-connect this since we want to recycle these as soon as we can. You'll notice that we can't recycle this wind turbine because it would split the colony in two. So I'm rerouting the power to the solar panels so that I'll be free to recycle the wind turbines. So this reroutes the power here, which allows me to recycle this one. This one's over here by itself. Again, this one is getting rerouted so that this one can be recycled. In fact, since we are recycling all the wind turbines, maybe I'll just make a wind farm someplace else, and that can be the solar farm over there. After all, we have plenty of room to expand out this direction. Yeah, we'll put another airlock here, and we can have wind turbines out this direction. So this could be, oh, plus there's a little basin here, so. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you could push through and keep going. Oh, but that's a map boundary. Aha. It looks like there's more buildable area here than there is. Can't go out all that far. So yes, this would make a nice little wind farm. And then we'll have all this space available for solar power generation. Okay, the Goliath turbine patent has been acquired. Excellent. Alright, in order to get the Goliath turbine up and running, like I said, we need to have something over here. And power is still an issue. I mean, like I said, it looks like it's not, but we have a lot of structures that are not powered up at the moment. So go ahead and get started. So we'll prioritize these constructions in order to make that connection. And let's see. Oh, curses. I'm sitting here thinking, and now would be a good time to recycle some wind turbines if the wind is not blowing, and then I look and the windsock is full, of course, and it's like, really? Really, you want to recycle me while the wind's blowing? Look how valuable I am, all of a sudden. You know, I was like, well, a minute ago you were just sitting there. Oh well, we have to finish rerouting the power anyways. Soon, wind turbines will be coming for you soon. The Goliath's in town. We don't need you anymore. Now, as I mentioned, notice that the spares workshop is hard at work, whereas materials are not being used by the semiconductor foundry or the arms workshop because they're not prioritized. And notice that I don't have to indicate any special priority to the spares workshop. That's just an automatic thing. Spares are important. Power must continue to be generated. Oh, the landing pad is up. Well, it seems the time has come. Okay, let's find out. Oh, and now that the time is here, let's see about getting some security consoles up. We now need our guard force to want to sit in here and be ready. And then the last thing will be... Oh, come on. You're telling me that's not going to fit? I have to have so much space for this thing. This is the armory, so we'll put weapons in there. And that way, new guards that land at the colony will be able to arm themselves quickly without going to look for stuff. Okay, great. So... Ah, yes, and new construction over here. Uh-oh, since the new landing pad is up, we can have people landing anywhere now. Okay, well, at least they're good colonists. And here comes a trading ship. Yep, another medical trader. No, we need the resources that we have, so sorry. He's got nothing to sell us, and we have nothing to sell him. Or her. Now that highlighted something that's rather important here, is that having the trading ship on the pad was not an impediment to a colony ship. So let's put down some additional landing pads before finally putting down the starport. Ah, now is a good time. The wind is dying down. So these things are doing a whole lot of nothing. But what they are good for is materials. Oh, stop maintaining this thing. We don't want that anymore. Sitting there burning up our spare parts on some turbine I'm about to recycle. So that suddenly puts in a whole lot of metal available for constructions and will help to get this stuff going. Our other airlock is going up. It's good to see all the mines productive. Okay, so the colonists are going to get our various different metal products to all the various different projects that we currently have up. This one's the only one that's going to be priority. We'll pick up the other turbines as we're able to. Whoa! And that's the meteorites reminding us, or like, you've got all this stuff, Joe. Why? Why is there no anti-meteorite laser? We need some love. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. So we'll need another control center. This one will be for... You'll notice that this one is focused entirely on security. Because that's the very, very important function of that one there. But we can have another one that will be focused on defense of the colony, at least from spaceborne objects. And this one doesn't have to be very big. Although, you know what? Take that back. This actually might be a really good spot for that lab. Because you can have dead ends here. And it's near the storage. Of which we are low on storage space. So we're currently at, 93%. Oh, how are we doing on... Oh, please don't be attackers. Please don't be attackers. Okay. These are real colonists, I think. I didn't see one. I have to keep track of these ships. It's making me crazy because they're no longer in one place. They could be come in 2 different locations. But I don't want to recycle this until I have a second landing pad over here because I don't want to impede colony ships from landing. Since the whole idea here is that we want to recruit 250 colonists before 60 days have elapsed. So I don't want to do anything that, you know, hogs up a landing space that could potentially be used by a colony ship. Oh, and how are we doing on power? It looks pretty good, even though we've brought all these other structures online. I like it. I have to admit I do like it. This looks like something could go here. Let's see. Oh, I can't have a water tower there. I was thinking that, I mean, the one water tank that we have is a little one. And in the event that we have problems with water, I would like to have a bigger reserve than we currently do. Oh, darn it. You know what? This lab is already getting put up. Then we'll go ahead and we'll cancel this lab after all. I was thinking that would make a good location for a lab, but it looks like our colonists have been very productive in finishing things up, so we'll go ahead and we'll use this one after all. So, again, this lab's focus here is on tissue synthesis. Now this is going to be a very cozy lab. You'll see why. I should have made it bigger, but I think I can get by with a small one. You'll see why. Now look how many tissue synthesizers you can cram in this thing. This is what happens when you are living on a planet that has... where OSHA has no presence. Fire Marshal, you know, we don't have one. OSHA, never heard of them. Once these are all put together, as you can see, it's just jam-packed with tissue synthesizers. So, I feel sorry for anyone who works here. But. And then the lab will feed straight into the canteen. So, it's actually a pretty good location for it. Alright, so back to defense of the colony. So we will go ahead and make this a command center, or control center, I mean, and this one's purpose will be to have radio consoles and telescope consoles, so that we can finally see about putting up some kind of meteorite defense. Okay, let's see, who is this? Anybody bad? No, these are good guys. Ah, canteen. Alright. So let's get that operational. This way the guards don't have to run off. Darn it, here comes another ship. To make sure this is... Ah, it's a trading ship. Okay, another freelance trader. What has he got? Ooh, this is the patent for the farm dome. Food is going to be a continuous issue as we try to expand the colony. Can we afford the farm dome? I'm going to say probably not, but I'm going to try. Let's see. So we can get 200 just from the medical supplies we already have. That's why they make such a great currency. Sadly, the bioplastics not quite as valuable. Yeah, and unfortunately, the value of what we have, it just weighs too much. But perhaps we could relieve them of a construction bot and get some more productivity out until we can make our own. Whoops. Darn it, don't I have something of incremental value? Yeah. There we go. So, sadly I can't get the farm dome, although I really want it. It will have to wait. As soon as we start receiving visitors, whoops, and it's time for a sandstorm. Which means, come on, let's get back to the right console. Everybody inside, please. Good, and so we have the big Goliath turbine here, which is now going to produce 80 kilowatts of power. Oh, the only bad part is that we recycled all the other turbines, and so now we're not generating any power from any of these solar panels. You know, suddenly this has become an emergency. Darn it, I was hoping these were going to be finished by this point. We'll go ahead and prioritize them. Doesn't help now. So we're only producing 80 kilowatts, but we're drawing 203. And the longer this lasts, the worse for the colony. Oh boy. Wow, where did that hit? Someplace nearby. I'm glad it didn't strike the trading ship. Okay, you know what, as a precaution, let's start powering down non-essential systems until we can get our power problem under control. Oh, darn it, I don't want to power down a landing pad in case a colony ship wants to come in. I'm just concerned that I made some bad decisions here. I should have at least replaced the turbines that I recycled. I was planning on it, but I didn't think it'd be that big a deal with all those solar cells up. Okay, so it must be getting ready to abate here. So we'll go ahead and we'll cancel the alert because the storm's basically over. Alright, so lesson learned. Wow, look at the power collectors. They're just savaged. So we need more power. The solar cells are going to do a great job, and we still have plenty of daylight in order to charge up. So we can go ahead and recover from this oversight and see about getting some wind turbines to replace what I recycled. So. Oh, plus we're drawing more on the water system. Each one of these tissue synthesizers draws more water, more power. Let's see, how are we doing on water? We're still above board on water. Let's see, and then we can take a moment here to queue up construction. It won't occur until this structure is powered back up, but... Oh, darn it. I'm supposed to hold the shift key. If you hold the shift key, you can put down multiple of the same item, so that you don't have to keep going back and clicking. I didn't know this initially, but some of the feedback I got from a YouTube video was like, Joe, you know, you can hold that shift key. I was like, oh, it's amazing! And this is what I get. I never read instructions. I'm more of the, let's figure it out by doing. Okay, so that's as many beds as I can stuff in there. Okay, so the wind turbine's been built. And one more, and we'll be okay. Okay, good. And we have one more item for the trading ship, and we'll have a nice new construction bot. Okay, whoops. Everybody's unhappy all of a sudden. Come on, guys. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. I kind of wish I could unleash Doctor Who villains on my colony. Back in the old days, in a previous century, there was a Doctor Who episode, and which Doctor Who was played by an actor named Sylvester McCoy. And they had an episode called The Happiness Patrol. I'd like to unleash the Happiness Patrol here in the colony. It's like, you're going to be happy, aren't you? You're not going to star us down on Facebook. More people are going to come to this colony, and you're going to be happy about it. Otherwise, you get the taser. And we'll just find out how much voltage it takes to make you happy. Yeah, fun colony here, huh? It's not just called Omega Base because it's the last one for the achievement. It's the last base you'll ever land at. Whoops, and there goes the sun. But the wind is picking up, so our Goliath turbines are doing a good job here. So as soon as we can get up a third, then we should be okay. I just want to make sure. And the solar collectors did their job. Notice that the power collectors are all charged. So we head into the night with full collectors. With these landing pads here, I have to start thinking about that starport. The purpose for having all of these connected to an oxygen generator is just to use it as a hub for more airlocks. I forget. Can I get one more off of here? Probably not. Or no. It will. There we go. So I'll be able to get 5 airlocks off of the generator. And then everybody has to come in through the control center, and the guards get to, you know, see if they're good or bad. Yes, we're low on storage space. And our storage consists primarily of, let's see, there's a whole lot of bioplastics in there. Lots of vegetables and other stuff. You know what? What we can do is we'll just open up another storage. It's not as though we're not going to use it. Oh, plus since bioplastics are a thing, we can also start to begin construction on the multi-dome. The multi-dome will use all kinds of bioplastics internally, and it will help with morale issues. Give people some place to expend all that extra energy. And let's see. Add more facilities for birthing. Okay, let's see if this is a... Please don't be an attack. Okay, that's just a... What? It's an attack. What? One attacker? Are you kidding me? That seems strange. Alright, we have to watch this person and keep them out of the colony. Did I not? Oh, there we go. Now it's powered up. That's odd to just send one. But yes, this is an attacker. This is not a visitor. Notice that the ship left without him or her. Alright, so you can just keep on walking. These airlocks are close to you. My goal is for this visitor to asphyxiate on the surface of the planet. Actually, you know what? Here, we'll shut these back down again because we want the visitor to take a very long walk. Sorry, guys. The way Planetbase works is that the colonists and the visitors will calculate where it is that they want to go, and once they've plotted their location, they won't react to changes in the environment. So he's taking a very long route all the way back. Meanwhile, those oxygen levels will just drop. So I can reactivate... oh, okay, here comes a trading ship. Good grief, I don't want to lose sight of... Oh, there's an airlock right there. Ha 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 ha. That must be what he was there for. So I'm shutting down these airlocks so that the visitor, well, the attacker, will choose to go to the farthest airlock. Yeah, there we go. Just keep taking a nice long walk. And now I have to reopen these so that my colonists can do their work. And let's see. Trading ship is a medical ship. Well, maybe you'd like to buy my medical supplies. What will you give me for them? Ah, it's a 60% commission. This is painful. No. No thanks. Because we lose too much value. Might as well not even bother. Okay, so there goes that visitor. Alright guys, sorry, but temporarily I have to shut these down. And this one. And what I'm doing here is, just as they get to this airlock, well, this person, I shut it off, and with all the airlocks closed, they have he, she, whatever, has no choice but to go all the way back. Goodbye. Century reached, so now we have 100 colonists. Excellent. Oh boy, we have to keep track of that visitor. There we go. So we need this person to die on the surface so that we don't have to deal with it, because our guards don't have any weapons. Now, let me reactivate this one. Now our visitor should be heading towards this airlock, because they calculated their destination based on I had all the other ones closed at the time. So let's see. Just to make sure, though, I don't want you coming in here. Yeah, the visitor's passing it right by. Even though the airlock is open, it's sticking to the course that it plotted. So, it's one way you can have fun with the Planetbase AI. Ah, good. I love to see that little oxygen symbol appearing. So again, here let's temporarily close a few airlocks. So the visitor has no choice but to go all the way back. Alright, let's reopen these airlocks. Trudging back and forth across the surface on a nice march of death. As you can see, the visitor walks right past an open airlock, because the course has already been plotted to come back here to the main landing pads. And the way the AI works, the visitor won't check its destination until it reaches the destination and then decides on a new one, if it can't get in. So this way we don't have to risk the lives of any of the colonists, since we're not yet in a position to defend ourselves. And just as you get to that airlock... I hate having to do this to my colonist, who's right behind him, but... recalculate and go to another destination. I'll let my colonist in. You can die on the surface. Goodbye. Like I said, Omega Base is the last place you'll ever visit. And with no oxygen, the visitor's health goes down to 0. And dead. Intruder has been killed. And that's what we were looking for. So no muss, no fuss. Alright, so good. All the turbines are up. And we have the new control center. Let's see about getting some... let's see, we'll get a radio telescope. And other telescopic consoles. And we can see about building defenses. Oops. And hold down shift. Of course, that means that we need to reactivate the factory. Do we actually have metal in reserve? We do. Guess we're catching up on our constructions. Of course, there are still a few left to complete over here. Go ahead and prioritize one of the landing pads, that way we can see about recycling this one here. And finally be done with that. In fact, since we are about to do that, we need to make a connection for all of this stuff so that it does not have to connect through the landing pad the way it does right now. Okay, what's our health status? We're still considered good. Ah, it's an industrial ship. This guy could be a big help. Let's see. Oh, look at this. He's got the storage dome patent also. Speaking of being a big help. Maybe, just maybe, wouldn't it be nice if we could afford this thing? Oh, we've got all these medicinal plants. But it puts us over in terms of... isn't that terrible? Not being able to afford it, not because you don't have the materials on hand to trade, but because of weight limitations. Alright, well, you know what? Instead, we'll take all your metal. Because that will help us finish our constructions. Everything is pending metal at the moment. And we need to get, as soon as the constructions are completed, the factory proper will start to fire up. And we need to get semiconductors made. They'll be used to make the anti-meteorite laser. In the meantime, let's see about queuing up the telescopes. So we'll probably need at least 2 of them. To find some nice locations for them. No, please don't be hostile attackers. And to play this nutty game with you again because we have no weapons. Okay, non-hostile. Good, good. The game of death. So what do you think? Kind of silly making the hostile attacker run around the base until they asphyxiate. You know what, let's see. And we'll put another one right next to it. That provides an opportunity. Connect everybody. Oh, it's not going to let me put it there? No, but they're too far to connect. It's always something. Ah, but I can can get away with a little water tower. Power monger reached. Excellent. So now we're producing, I believe you get this after producing 500 kilowatts of power. So let's see. Yeah, we were probably up at 500 briefly, and then the wind died down. Yes, I know we're low on storage space. I am trying to do something about it. Might have to prioritize that construction. Basically everything else is going to be held up by lack of storage space. On the plus side, our colonists want for nothing. All the food that they could want. Oh, you know what? And because we have that bar turned off, boy, meteorites are reminding us. They're like, Joe, we want some anti-meteorite laser love. I'm like, okay, it's coming. I promise it's coming. Be patient. Please don't kill anybody. This is probably a good point to end this video here. Join me next time here on Joe Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where we'll have more fun with Planetbase. In particular, here at Omega Base, and we'll see whether or not we can make that achievement. 250 colonists in less than 60 days. So currently we are sitting at day 27, and we already have 103 colonists. So, airlock is low on... Oh, because we're not generating oxygen. Let's go ahead and turn this generator online so that doesn't happen. Got too many people running in and out of here all the time. Ah, see all that extra metal is coming in handy from that industrial ship. Ah, and with another landing pad online, we can recycle this one once we have the solar panel operational, so we can reroute the power. Engineer, huh? Ah, good. Alright, so we're ready. As soon as they finish that panel and that connection is made, this landing pad gets recycled. But we'll see that in our next episode of Planetbase, the saga of Omega Base. See you next time.